Χαίρετε. Γεια σου, Μιχαλάκη μου. Καλά είσαι, αδερφέ?
Γεια σε όλους. Καλησπέρα σας, καλημέρα σας.
Μυρωδιά Σπυριάρας, Season 3, Episode 21. Κάτι τέτοιο, δεν
150.
θυμάμαι, δεν θυμάμαι, προχώρα. Αυτό σαν να μην το είπα. Το Season 3
Και
είναι
έχουμε
σίγουρα.
πολύ μεγάλη εκπομπή σήμερα. Πολύ όμορφη.
Για πες τι ετοιμάσαμε, ποιον ετοιμάσαμε, ποιον έχουμε μαζί
Βεβαίως.
μας.
Έχουμε μαζί μας, λοιπόν, θα έχουμε μαζί μας σε λίγο τον κοσμοαγάπητο και εξαιρετικό προπονητή, βέβαια, τον coach Zvi Sherf.
Ο Zvi Sherf, φίλε.
Ο
Ναι.
Zvi Sherf.
Ο οποίος τέλη δεκαετίας 80 και σε όλα τα 90s βασικά, από διάφορα
Στα
κόμματα.
90's 100%.
Έτσι. Αγαπήθηκε πάρα πολύ.
Ναι.
Ενώ γενικότερα οι Εβραίοι, οι Ισραηλοί τέλος πάντων, έχουν περισσότερο σχέση με τη Μακάμπι και είναι λογικό προφανώς, υπάρχουν μερικοί οι οποίοι έχουν αγαπηθεί πάρα πολύ και εδώ. Ίσως τα δύο μεγαλύτερα παραδείγματα αυτού του είδους είναι αφενός ο Κάτας, στον Παναθηναϊκό, έτσι, που πέρασε και πρόσφατα ως προπονητής, αλλά πάνω από όλους, θεωρώ, είναι σαφώς ο Zvi Sherf.
Ναι, αδικούμε λίγο τον Πίνι Γκέρσον, ο οποίος αγαπήθηκε στον Ολυμπιακό. Βέβαια, μισήθηκε κιόλας, ίσως ξέρεις, λιδωρήθηκε, ας το πούμε έτσι.
Ναι, ο Γκέρσον
Ναι.
έχω την αίσθηση ότι περισσότερο αγαπήθηκε σαν φιγούρα.
Παρά σαν προπονητής, ναι.
Και μπάσκετ ωραίο έπαιξε, αλλά έπαιξε μπάσκετ το οποίο δεν κερδίζει τίτλους στον Ολυμπιακό. Ξέρεις, ανέμελοι, είμαστε ωραίοι, παίζουμε καλά, χάνουμε στο τέλος από κάτι πιο σοβαρό κλπ. Αλλά συμπαθείς τον Γκέρσον.
Εννοείται. Αλλά ο Zvi Sherf αγαπήθηκε γιατί πάνω απ' όλα, όπως τον μίλησα και λίγο προηγουμένως κατηδίαν, ας πούμε, είναι ένας πάρα πολύ ανοιχτός και πρόσχαρος άνθρωπος. Είναι ανοιχτό βιβλίο.
Βεβαίως. Ένας εξαιρετικός συνομιλητής, ένας άνθρωπος ο οποίος πραγματικά, χωρίς βέβαια να μπαίνω σε πολύ χοντρές λεπτομέρειες, δεν πρέπει να έχει τσακωθεί χοντρά με κανέναν. Στην Ελλάδα τουλάχιστον το θυμάμαι πάντα να είναι ένας ευγενέστατος άνθρωπος, ένας καλός προπονητής που μας ενδιαφέρει εμάς πάνω απ' όλα. Και φυσικά δεν θυμάμαι μια ιστορία, μια κουβέντα, μια συμπεριφορά η οποία κυλίδωσε, που λέμε, το όνομά του.
Ναι,
Έτσι.
ναι.
Έχει μεγάλη σημασία αυτό, γιατί όπως και να το κάνουμε, τώρα η άκρη του πάγου, όπως λέμε πάντα, είναι ηλεκτρική καρέκλα, αυτά τα κλισέ τα δημοσιογραφικά, που δεν μπορείς να παίζεις ένα ευρωπαϊκό τίτλο ή οτιδήποτε τέτοιο παρόμοιο στον πόντο, στην κατοχή και να είσαι και κυριλέ. Φανταστείτε τι θέση τη δικιά τους να είστε εσείς εκεί πέρα μέσα, έτσι.
Ο coach ο Σερφ ξεκίνησε την καριέρα του πολύ νέο στην προπονητική. Έπαιξε μπάσκετ πολύ λίγο. Αφιερώθηκε στην προπονητική. Μετά τον έβαλε και η Μακάμπι στις νέες ομάδες, στις ομάδες των νέων δηλαδή, στην δεύτερη ομάδα. Σιγά σιγά ανέλαβε την ομάδα, την πρώτη ομάδα δηλαδή. Στο Ισραήλ, στην εθνική ομάδα, διετέλεσε προπονητής, ξέρω εγώ, 3, 4, 5 φορές και εγώ δεν ξέρω.
Ναι, υπήρξε σε διάφορες. Ναι.
Στην Ελλάδα έπαιξε, λέω. Προπόνησε 3 ομάδες. Ο Μακεδονικός είναι η πιο τελευταία και η πιο έτσι, ασθενή στη μνήμη μας. Πώς τον θυμούνται να κουτσάρει το Μακεδονικό άραγε.
Όχι μακροχρόνια βεβαίως, έτσι, γι' αυτό
Όχι. Αλλά βέβαια το ψητό είναι ότι οδήγησε τον Άρη στον πρώτο του ευρωπαϊκό τίτλο, βέβαια, έτσι. Το 1993, όπου ήρθε ο Θεόφιλος Μητρούδης. Ήταν η πρώτη χρονιά που ανέλαβε την προεδρία του Άρη. Ήταν η χρονιά που ο Γκάλης έφυγε από την ομάδα. Τους λόγους δεν τους ξέρουμε. Μας έχει πει κάποια πράγματα ο Φάνης ο Ταρνατόρος. Δεν μας αφορά, τέλος πάντων. Ήρθε ο Παναγιώτης ο Γιαννάκης στην ομάδα. Ήρθε ο Ρόι Τάρπλεϊ βέβαια στην ομάδα.
Σαν αντίβαρο σημαντικό, πολύ σημαντικό, γιατί ο Τάρπλεϊ, τα έχουμε ξαναπεί 1000 φορές, ήταν τεράστιος παίκτης. Και μεσολάβησε ο Γιατζόγλου για να έρθει.
Εννοείται. Κοίταξε, ο Γιατζόγλου ήταν ο λόγος που προσελήφθη στον Άρη. Έτσι, είχε πει ότι αν έρθω, έχω και έναν παίχτη να φέρω μαζί μου, έναν Αμερικανό, ένα πολύ μεγάλο όνομα του NBA. Οπότε έπαιξε ρόλο αυτό στην πρόσληψη του Γιατζόγλου, στην επιλογή του. Παίχτης $1 εκατομμυρίου τότε. Τάρπλεϊ, βέβαια. Ήταν και λίγα. Λοιπόν, άρα αντίβαρο λοιπόν και παικτικό και οικονομικό ήταν ο Ρόι.
Βεβαίως.
Λοιπόν, ξεκίνησε η χρονιά με τον Γιατζόγλου. Κάπου ήρθε και ο προφέσορας ο Νίκολιτς, τέλος πάντων λίγο μπλεχτήκαν εκεί πέρα. Έφυγε ο Νίκολιτς, έφυγε και ο Γιατζόγλου μετά και τη θέση του πήρε ο Zvi Sherf, ο οποίος οδήγησε την ομάδα στο Τωρίνο, βέβαια στη νίκη επί της Εφές Πίλσεν. Στον πρώτο ευρωπαϊκό τίτλο του αυτοκράτορα, που ήταν χωρίς στέμα.
Έτσι. Ένας Άρης τότε με Τάρπλε βεβαίως. Είχαμε και τον Άντερσον, το 10 θυμάμαι φορέ ο Άντερσον, το 15 ο Τάρπλε, τα θυμάμαι σαν τώρα.
Ο Γάσπαρης ήταν αυτός που ξεκίνησε ουσιαστικά την πεντάδα μαρκάροντας τον. Πες
τον Ναουμόσκι.
Τον Πέταρ Ναουμόσκι, βέβαια, έτσι. Επιφορτισμένος με αμυντικά καθήκοντα. Το Μισούνοφ είχε.
Φανταστείτε τότε, μην νομίζετε τώρα ότι οι ελληνικές ομάδες αντιμετωπίζουν τις τουρκικές κάθε 3 και λίγο και το έχουμε συνηθίσει. Τότε ελληνοτουρκικός τελικός, εν τω μεταξύ να μην καούμε τώρα, ελληνοτουρκικός τελικός πρέπει να είναι αυτός ένας, πρέπει να είναι ο Άρης με την Τόφας.
Στην Μπούρσα, ναι.
Ναι. Και πρέπει να είναι και ο Ολυμπιακός με τη Φενέρ του Ομπράντοβιτς που το πήρε Φενέρ. Σωστά.
Με τον Έρικ Γκριν, με τον Βέσελη που τα βάζει όλα.
Ναι, το 17.
Ναι, το 17.
Γιατί θυμάμαι ο Ολυμπιακός πήγαινε χρονιά παραχρονιά μετά. Το 13 το πήρε, 12 το πήρε το Πρίντεζης κλπ. 13 το πήρε, 15 έχασε στη Μαδρίτη από τη Ρεάλ και το 17 έχασε στη Κωνσταντινούπολη από τη Φενέρ. Που λέγαμε άδικο, ας πούμε, τόσο εισαγωγικών, ότι ο Ολυμπιακός έχει χάσει 2 τρόπαια παίζοντας στο τελικό με την ομάδα που διοργανώνει το Φάιναλ Φορ.
Ο Μακεδονικός νομίζω είχε παίξει με τους Ρώσους, το Μαρούς είχε παίξει με
τους Γάλλους, έτσι.
Με τους Γάλλους και με τις Αλόνλες.
Ναι.
Ο Άρης είχε παίξει με τους Πολωνούς.
Ο Παναθηναϊκός δεν έχει παίξει ποτέ με Φενέρ και Εφές.
Ο Παναθηναϊκός όχι. Τώρα να ξεχνάμε κάποια. Μπορεί.
Καμιά ΑΕΚ. Ούτε. Τέλος πάντων. Όπως και να ξεχνάμε δεν έγινε τίποτα. Πού το πάω λοιπόν. Έχουμε συνηθίσει τις ελληνοτουρκικές κόντρες τα τελευταία χρόνια και δεν μας κάνει καμιά εντύπωση. Το ίδιο μας κάνει πάνω κάτω αν παίζει ο Παναθηναϊκός Ολυμπιακός με την Εφές ή με την Τζέσικα, με την Μπαρσελόνα, τη Ρεάλ κλπ. Τότε είναι ο Άρης, είναι ομάδα Θεσσαλονίκης, το τονίζω, έχει σημασία, το καταλάβετε γιατί. Είναι το 93. Τα Σκόπια είναι τότε που έχει αρχίσει να αναμοχλεύεται πάρα πολύ σοβαρά το θέμα κύριο Γκλιγκόρο, θυμάσαι τον Γκλιγκόρο, τον Σκοπίο, τον πρόεδρο. Είμαστε η Μακεδονία και ιστορίες. Και ποιος είναι ο καλύτερος παίκτης της τουρκικής ομάδας?
Ο Σκοπιανός.
Ο Σκοπιανός Πέταρ Ναουμόσκι. Οπότε μιλάμε για ένα κλίμα απίστευτου μίσους εκατέρωθεν, το οποίο οδήγησε και σε πολύ μεγάλους τσαμπουκάδες στο τέλος του αγώνα. Ο Άρης κέρδισε σε ένα από τους χειρότερους τελικούς όλων των εποχών κλπ.
Ο τελικός αμαυρώθηκε ο τελικός. Ναι, αλλά το κακό κλίμα ήταν από την προηγουμένη. Όχι απαραίτητος ημέρα, την προηγουμένη εβδομάδα. Που γίνανε συνεντεύξεις τύπου, υπήρχαν προβοκάτσια από Τούρκους δημοσιογράφους. Ο Αϊντίν Έρς λέει ότι το κύπελο θα μείνει στο Αιγαίο, ή θα το πάρει μία ομάδα, είτε το πάρει άλλη. Το κύπελο θα μείνει στο Αιγαίο, θα πάει στο Αιγαίο. Οπότε απαντάει και ο Θεόφιλος Μητρούδης, ο αείμνηστος, βεβαίως θα μείνει στο Αιγαίο, γιατί θα το πάρει ο Άρης. Και κάτι τέτοια. Υπήρχαν προβοκάτσια.
Ωραία είναι αυτά. Είναι λίγο μποξερικά που στέκονται και κάνουν το face out.
Υπήρχε, ρε παιδί μου, μύριζε μπαρούτι τώρα. Early 90s υπήρχε τότε αυτό.
Ήταν οι κόντρες τότε, λέγαμε παίζει ελληνική ομάδα με τουρκική. Κάτι θα γίνει.
Βέβαια, για να τα λέμε όλα, οι Τούρκοι στον τελικό δεν δημιούργησαν πρόβλημα. Δεν υπήρχαν Τούρκοι στον τελικό, έτσι. Οι Έλληνες κουβαλήσανε καμικάζι στο γήπεδο. Να τα λέμε όλα.
Ορθό.
Δηλαδή...
Λοιπόν, να πω κάτι τώρα. Για να τελειώσουμε την εισαγωγή, γιατί ανυπομονώ να βγάλουμε τον άνθρωπο.
Βέβαια.
Λοιπόν, ο Σερφ πριν τον Άρη έχει κάνει πολύ σπουδαίες πορείες με τη Μακάμπι, με τον Ρον Τζάμψι, με Κεν Μπάρλοου, με Κέβιν Μαγκί, Λαβόν Μέρσερ βεβαιότατα. Και είναι η ομάδα η οποία ουσιαστικά έχει αποκλείσει τον Άρη, πες μου καλά, στο 89, με το ξύλο μεταξύ Μακί και Γιαννάκη. Ο Σερφ είναι προπονητής εκείνης της ομάδας. Ο Σερφ είναι προπονητής 2 χρόνια νωρίτερα, το 87. Στη Μακάμπι που χάνει από την Τρέισερ του Μάικ Νταντόνι με το μουστακάκι του πρεμιέρ του Μενεκίν και λοιπόν.
Βεβαίως.
Ήταν και ο Μάκαντο τότε, ήταν ο Μάκαντο τότε.
Ήταν η χρονιά πάντως η τελευταία πριν το Φάιναλ Φορ της Γάνδης.
Μπράβο, πριν το πρώτο Φάιναλ Φορ, γιατί μέχρι τότε ήταν άλλο το σύστημα. Και με λίγα λόγια, ο άνθρωπος έχει χάσει και από την
Τρέισερ Μιλάνο
και από την Γιουγκοπλάστικα μετά. Έτσι. Γιατί στο τελικό έπαιξε η Γιουγκοπλάστικα αντί για την Μπαρσελόνα που όλοι νομίζαν ότι θα παίξει.
Έτσι. Από κάτι λιμά έχει χάσει τέλος πάντων.
Έτσι, ναι. Νομίζω ότι εντάξει, με τα παιδάκια τώρα, τα Σερβάκια, τα Γιουγκοσλαβάκια. Εντάξει. Και εννοείται ότι εν τέλει η τελευταία του, έτσι, να πούμε, σημαντική παρουσία σε πάγκο ομάδας είναι το 8, αν και συνέχισε μετά να προπονεί αρκετά χρόνια. Το 8 που αναλαμβάνει την Μακάμπι και την πάει στο τελικό και χάνει από την Τσέσσεκα του Μεσίνα. Έτσι. Μια Τσέσσεκα με παπαλουκάδες μέσα, με Χόλτεν, της Παναγιάς στα μάτια, ξέρω έτσι.
Βεβαίως, να αναφέρουμε εδώ ότι πέρασε και από τον ΠΑΟΚ, βέβαια, 2 χρόνια. Έφυγε εν μέσω πολλών οικονομικών προβλημάτων, τέλος πάντων. Αν δεν με πατάει η μνήμη μου.
Ήταν ο προπονητής του σουτ του στο Γιάκοβιτς στο ΣΕΦ.
Ναι.
Έτσι. Και είχε και Κόνραντ Μακρέι λατρεμένο.
Κόνραντ Μακρέι, Τσάρλ Σάκλεφ.
Έτσι. Εξαιρετική. Έτσι.
Ναι.
Λοιπόν.
Και νομίζω ότι, αν δεν κάνω κανένα χοντρό λάθος, φεύγοντας ο Σερφ από την Θεσσαλονίκη και τον ΠΑΟΚ, την ομάδα την άφησε ψηλά. Αυτό θυμάμαι ότι ήταν στις πρώτες θέσεις βαθμολογίας.
Καλά, τέτοιου είδους προβλήματα στο ελληνικό μπάσκετ υπάρχουν γενικότερα, που είναι καλές οι ομάδες, απλά δεν έχουν για κολόχαρτο. Για να έχουν για κολόχαρτο που λέμε. Δεν θέλω να πω. Δεν είναι ότι είναι κακές ομάδες.
Αλλά αν σου πω, ρε παιδί μου, κλείνεις τα μάτια, σου λέω ονόματα και μου λες τι θυμάσαι μια εικόνα. Zvi Sherf, σε ρωτάω τώρα. Zvi Sherf, τι θυμάσαι από τον Zvi Sherf?
Εύκολο. Οδοντογλυφίδα.
Ναι.
Οδοντογλυφίδα.
Ναι.
Ο οποίος δεν ξέρω τώρα αν τυχόν αυτό το πράγμα το έκανε σαν υποκατάστατο του τσιγάρου, με την έννοια ότι δεν επιτρεπόταν να καπνίσει στο γήπεδο, υποθέτω, και είχε οδοντογλυφίδα για να έχει κάτι στο στόμα. Ή
θα το ρωτήσω.
Κάτι διαβούλευση. Θα το ρωτήσω.
Ξέρεις ότι ο Άρης του έχει χαρίσει μια χρυσή οδοντογλυφίδα? Ο Μητρούδης.
Σοβαρά, δεν το ήξερα. Ωραία κίνηση. Έτσι,
συμβολική.
Συναισθηματικά ωραία κίνηση. Λοιπόν, πάμε. Ξεκινάμε.
Πάμε.
Ωραίος, φύγαμε. Μέρος δεύτερο λοιπόν, και μαζί μας είναι ο θρυλικός coach, ο Zvi Sherf. Coach, hello, thank you very much for being with us.
Good morning, hello.
Good morning.
I'm happy to speak. I'm happy to speak with you. I'm happy to speak about basketball. I'm happy to speak about and to be in any connection with Greek basketball. That is my love, and I'm here.
Do you remember maybe some Greek words?
Kalimera, kala, πολύ καλά.
Bravo,
you know, maybe the biggest mistake that I made, that I didn't learn Greek till today. And about a month ago, I was in a big ceremony in Salonika, 90 years to FIBA, that the Greek Federation invited me, and I said it in front of everybody when I make my speech, that I'm sorry that I'm speaking English. Maybe the biggest mistake that I done is that I didn't learn Greece. Maybe if it was like that, even I have very good connection in Greece, and a lot of people remember me and likes me. I'm disappointed I didn't came back again to work in Greece. Even today I want to work in Greece, and maybe that I didn't know the language hurt me.
Do you consider Greece your second home, considering that Israel was the place that you worked the most, of course, but Greece is number 2. Do you consider us like your second home?
It's even today for me. I'm for sure I'm now in Israel. I work also in Russia. I work in France. I work in small part of not a lot of time in Poland, but Greece is my loved and connected country for basketball, and even not for basketball. when people still didn't know about Greece. Today, a lot of Israelis are in Greece and investing in Greece and visiting Greece and in the islands. When I say that Greece is a great country and a great place for me, it was still not so popular. Today, there is more Israeli people in Athens than in I don't know where.
Okay.
Also in Salonika.
Μιχάλη, πάμε να πούμε για το Ρήνο πρώτα, ρε.
Να πούμε για το Ρήνο.
Με την επιτυχία να ξεκινήσουμε. Δεν το πάμε τώρα με Μακάμπι, Φάιναλ Φορ κλπ. Θα πούμε αυτά μετά. Okay, the first thing that we want to ask you, before going to the EuroLeague Final Four with Maccabi, we want to speak about the great victory with Aris that you had in 1993 in this peculiar game against Efes in Torino. Okay, talk to us about that season. Talk to us about the players that you had, especially Tarpley is one of our most beloved players of all time. Especially Michalis was in love as a child with his style of play. So talk to us about Torino and this.
And first of all, I will go to the side, and you will see here is all the pictures from Torino. This is in my wall, in my room, in my working room. I will take it off from the room and I will bring it close to the camera.
Thank you very much. Ωραίος.
Ναι.
What you see is the flag of Aris.
Yes.
Φάνης Ταρνατόρος.
Nikos Karameas with me on all this. This is behind me for 25 years in my room. With all the other teams and the national teams that I coach. You can see. But this is always with me.
Thank you very much for sharing it with us. So, how did you feel during the game? It was a very strange game. It was an ugly game.
Look, it's a long story.
Okay, we are here to hear.
First of all, coach, you had gone to Italy a week earlier and you were private in a hotel.
Look, I came to Aris in the middle of the season.
Yes, after Steve Yadzoglu.
And, it was a very, very, very strange situation from the second that the president Mitroudis or the management of Aris, but Mitroudis was the president. He was a very, very smart man. People didn't like the decision that he made to cut Galis and to bring Tarpley.
Mm-hmm.
Tarpley, no question, he was a great, great, great player. On those days, he was an all-star. He was one of the best 15 players on the NBA. But in the NBA, if they cut you, punished you because of alcoholism, drugs, it's mean that it's the end of the world.
Yes.
Now, Galis was Galis. Nobody can say bad word about Galis. He's a great player. He's a great leader. To cut him, it was a critical decision. It was been made before I came. But the problem with Tarpley was that he was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
In the morning, he was coming, he was clean. At the evening, sometimes he came, he was drunk. And it was very, very, very difficult to live with that. You can never know what will happen tomorrow. he was surrounding with his family, his wife, his kid was born, invited me for his baptizing. He was having there one more American guy, a small one that I remember that came. He was supposed to take care about him and to inform how he is going out of the alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
In one of the days, there was a, you know, in those days, there was no computers, there was no cellular phones. So they fixed a phone call, a phone meeting between me and between the people of San Francisco. It was Don Nelson, the coach, and Pop. He was his assistant coach, the big coach of San Antonio today was the assistant coach of Don Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
And it was been fixed with me a meeting to call to my apartment in Salonika. They want to speak with me about Tarpley. 10 o'clock at night, Pop called me. Okay, you know, in those days, the telephone, and he told me, 1 second, I want to put Coach Don Nelson on the line. In these days, you cannot speak in the phone with two people.
Yeah.
It was not. Now, they told me, look, we have an option to trade Tarpley. We got a report here that he's clean and he's out of alcoholism. I told them I was always honest and I was always saying the truth. Said, he's not clean. Don't touch it. Was quiet on the line. But we have a report. You know, the end of Tarpley, that he went back to the States, they signed him, and about few days after, the highway patrol find him in the car, drunken on the side, and to my story, how he finished his life, his career in Cyprus, in going to the hospital every day to get infusion because he was without liver. He was a great player. Now, when we make the final and we know that the final is in Torino, I say to Fanis and to Mitrudis, we must go out, that we will have control on him, on his behaving, on his, to cut the alcohol line to him. Mm-hmm. So we went to a small village near Turin in the mountains. We got a hotel. The hotel was only our people. We took out all the bottles from the bar. We took all the bottles from the frigidaire in every room in the hotel. We put somebody, there was only one supermarket in this village upstairs in the mountains. Somebody was from the morning, every day in the supermarket, all the hours that the supermarket was open, that nobody will go to buy any alcohol, even not beer. And we succeed for 1 week. We believe that he will not drink.
Did he accept that he was having a problem, or he was denying?
What is the question?
I ask again. In your private talks, did he accept that he was having an alcoholism problem, or was he denying it? He was saying, no,
Look,
no problem with me, everything is okay.
I will tell you a story.
Okay.
We came to play in Athens in the gym of sporting, the old gym of sporting.
Yes.
In these days, there was rebuilding for the Olympic, and Panathinaikos played their home games there, in the sporting gym, in the sporting basketball. We go down to the locker room. It was look around like a jail. You know, those days. So he told me, Coach, what I'm doing here? How can I play basketball here? I have to play in the Madison Square Garden. I have to play now in the Forum in Los Angeles. What I'm doing here? I told him, look, Roy, you know that I love you. But if I was having your talent, if I was having your contract in the NBA, maybe I was not drinking even water. You must take yourself strong and fight against this problem. You know, one of the biggest problem with this drinking was when we came after with the cup and all the stories, and we was having a game against Olympiacos.
Mm-hmm.
Olympiacos was punished.
The second game?
No, first game that was Olympiacos home, they was punished, and we played in one village. You remember the name?
Chalkida.
No, Chalkida. On the way between Salonika and Athens, on the way, I forgot the name. Panis know the name. Now,
okay.
We came Friday, 4:00 afternoon. We went to a practice. We came to sleep. The game was afternoon, a day after, Saturday at 3:30. And Tapley was not moving, drinking. When we came back to the hotel, the bus stopped, and Fanis went to finish the payment of the hotel, and he called me. The owner of the hotel called him, take him to the second floor, near the room of Tapley and Henderson, that was the couple together, was about 15 bottles of beer and 2 bottles of, I don't know if it was vodka or ouzo or I don't know what. It's mean that in around 20 hours, 22 hours that we was being in the hotel, somebody drink this kind of alcohol.
Okay.
And that killed him. He was great player. When he was clean, 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, he was unstoppable.
Yes.
He was a great player. Now, in Torino, there was another story. Nobody in Greece on those days wanted to understand that there is a Turkish basketball good team. Anadolu till today they are the champions of Europe 2 years in a row. But they build this club. The history of the basketball in Turkey, that was a part of the fight between the fanatic Muslims to the Democrat people.
Mm-hmm.
And Anadolu, all this family, all this beer function, this is a fight between the Muslims and the Democrat people. So they fight and they build a basketball club against Fenerbahce that have football and basketball and Besiktas and Galatasaray, that it's old clubs like Aris, like PAOK, like Olympiacos, like Panathinaikos. But this is a fight between the Orthodox Muslims against the Muslims that like democracy and liberalism. And so they put a lot of money even in those days. Now, people in Greece didn't know that there is a basketball club in Turkey. If it's a basketball club that make the finals, there was a good team.
Yes.
There was a team with a system. There was a team, they was having their gym, where is the factory of the beer. They built their house with rooms to rest of the players and with restaurant that the players was eating there every day and staying there with a coach that work systematically. We fight and we win against a club that till today you see how he was improving and what kind of basketball empire it is. Mm-hmm. But people think that Anadolu is, what is this? We are, and you know, in the other side, the hate to the Turkish and the attack of the Turkish after we win the cup, that was a damage to Aris for 10, 15 years.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. You're right.
Because
Aris was the emperor in those days, but had not yet won a European title.
Yes, but if Aris was staying in the top, it's true that they were supposed to find some honor with a lot of money, like happened in Olympiacos and in Panathinaikos. Yes. But if they was coming to the day that the EuroLeague built their, and if Aris was one of the shareholders, they was in the EuroLeague for 20 years, this is another story.
Yes.
Today, it's very difficult for Aris, for PAOK, for AEK, for anybody to go into the EuroLeague.
Yes, of course. You're right. We are watching you very carefully, and we are very happy that you are sharing these stories with us. So, tell us, if you would like now, some things about your beginnings with Maccabi Tel Aviv. I know that I am going backwards in time now, but we have seen, searching about your biography, that you had some participation, a big participation, of course, in the Final Fours in the late 80s and beginning of the 90s, but with no trophy in your hands. Talk to us about these years. I mean, Doron Jamsi, the great Americans, Gavin McGee, Ken Barlow, all of these guys. Talk to us about some stories that you have, maybe.
Look, I was born as a kid in Maccabi Tel Aviv, in the old gym, and slowly, I step on the way. I coach kids, I coach juniors, I coach the second team of the club. I became assistant coach of Rudy D'Amico when we took the cup on the club sent me and helped me to grow up as a coach. They sent me to every clinic that possible. The club arranged for me in 1975 to go to the United States for 2 months, every week, 10 days. I was being invited by the coach of great coaches of college. I was in Kentucky, Joe B. Hall, in UCLA, in Indiana with Bobby Knight, in St. John with Konoseka, with great coaches. And I made maybe that this trip for 2.5 months in the United States helped me and make me a great coach. Later on, I became the coach of Maccabi Tel Aviv. It's true that I made a few times to the Final Four and 3 times to the final game, and we lost. Okay. So everybody can say about that whatever you want, but sometimes you have to understand against who you're playing. When you're coming to play on the final against Dino Meneghin, D'Antoni,
yes,
the great coach of NBA, as an Italian citizen, as the great playmaker. It's a legend team, and you are losing by 1 point or by 2 points. Okay, you lost. But let's first of all come to this final game. We lost in the Final Four in Munich to Split.
Jugoplastica, yes.
But Jugoplastica Split, but only after that, you realize that this is one of the biggest team ever in the history of basketball.
Yes.
With Raja, so I'm not happy that I lost. But in the other side, we came to the final. Now, we was having, in this year, we beat all the teams, including Jugoplastica Split in Split. And we lost 2 times to Barcelona, home and away. Barcelona with Audio Norris, with San Epifanio, was a great team and club. And when they, in the semifinal, when they beat Barcelona, we was happy, but it was a mistake.
Because we thought it would be
not
easier.
to face Barcelona in the final. So the same in 2007, 2008, when I take the team in the middle of the season instead of Katash, and we came to the final, we met legendary team of CSKA Moscow.
CSKA.
We didn't lose against a second league team. So, and from the last 10 years, I'm out of Maccabi from few reasons, but the team didn't make the final 8. Only last year when 3 Russian teams was cut on the middle of the season. Maccabi Tel Aviv is my club, my home. I'm out of there today. I'm not happy from that. I'm not coaching in the last 3.5 years. I want to coach. I still believe, even I'm 71 years old, that I'm a good coach also today. I want to coach in Greece, but there is no offer for me in Greece. Olympiacos is doing a great job in the last 3 years. It didn't come in 1 year that they build a team. A team you are not building in 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You're building, you're signing 1 player, 2 players, and then you find out that they are good, and you keep them. Vesenkov was growing up from year to year. Walkup is growing up from year. You bring back Slukas. Now you bring Pal. You lost Milutinov and you bring Pal, and then you find out that Pal is giving you better. I see and I know step by step every day what is going on, not every day, but what's going on in Panathinaikos. I wanted to coach Panathinaikos few times. They didn't want me. They signed other coaches. It's right. I know everything that's happening in the Greek league, in the Israeli league, in the Spanish league. I'm working as in some very, very popular sport show in radio. I'm in going in 3 times a week in a very, very important and popular sports show in TV. I'm working as commentator of basketball in the TV from Spanish League, Turkish League, and Italian League that we are showing here in the sport channels. I'm living the basketball market and live and leagues and in Europe daily, every transfer, every move of a coach, everything that's happening. I'm the manager of the biggest school for coaches here in Israel, in Winget Institute. Every Friday, I'm the manager of this school of coaches. The coaches are learning a year and a half every Friday. We are there from the morning, from 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm leaving home and I'm going. I'm like that. I'm fitting with young coaches. We are doing some research. We are learning. We are watching every day. I'm watching about 20, 25 games a week. I'm watching all the EuroLeague games, all the Eurocup. I'm also commentator of the Israeli games. I'm watching Israeli League. I'm watching Turkish. I'm Turkish League, Spanish League. I know every player. I know every coach. I know every team. I'm living basketball 24 hours. And
do you analyze football too?
Yes.
Do you like football?
Yeah. The people are saying that I'm the basketball coach that knows more about football than any other one.
Yes.
Okay, Coach. We would like you to be with us for the second part for some minutes. So, if we may, we are making a small pause, and we will continue with the second part. Okay.
Okay.
To all these things that you said, Coach, I want to remind you of a coincidence that helped Tracer Milano go to the top of the EuroLeague at your first final. Do you remember that they lost in the second round from Aris with a margin of 35, I think, something like that. But they won back in Milano, so they went to the top 6. It was the last year before the final four. Okay, so yes, you were the first 2 teams in the top 6, and you met in the final. So, how important is luck in your sport? Considering that, okay, they lost 35. I know that they were not a bad team, but they lost 35, and you needed some luck to go back up 37 in the second leg.
Look, till today, the question, nobody measured how much luck is a part of the game. There's a lot of games that you are winning with the last shot that can go in and can go out, or other things. In those days, that was my first love with the Alexandria gym, that today it's Nick Gallis gym.
Yes.
I like very much to come there. I lost some, I win some, and this was my Roman with the Greek people of Salonika. The teams didn't like to play there. It was very, very difficult to play in this gym. And I was surprised also when Milano was losing in so big difference. It was very difficult to stop Gallis. It was the biggest push for Aris was when Yanakis came to play together with Gallis, because he covered him in a lot of things. He was doing the defensive job. He disappeared.
No problem.
Okay.
Go on.
He covered to Gallis a lot of things. He covered. He was taking defensively the job against the biggest guards of the other team. He sacrificed himself over a lot of things, and was very, very difficult to find a way to beat Aris at home. And I believe that I find a way. I came every time with another tactic of defense. Once I was putting a big man on him, a big man that need quick legs. Once I was coming with a small guard on him that he was having difficulties to move him. But at the other side, sometimes it was luck. He was taking the shot free and he missed, or he's taking the shot free and it's go in. On those days also, there was no a lot of 3-point shots like today. Nobody took 30, 35 shots from 3 points. It was a little bit different basketball. Yeah. Was more low post moves that today you cannot find. You find pick and roll and alley hoop and not low post moves. When we played on this year after that in the final 6, we came to a very, very important game in Milano with Mekadu, with a great team, Premier, and we beat Milano in Milano. At the end of the game, I speak with my assistant, Yair Sharon. He was very, very, very close to me. And I told him, look, we are going to meet Milano in the final. Maybe from 10 games, from 5 games, we can beat them once. Maybe we lost it, we win today, but it will be very difficult to beat them again. And we lost by 1 point. At the final, was the last shot of Jamshi. One more dribble, one less dribble of the playmaker before he passed to Jamshi. And from this is a history. I remember this game, and a lot of people remember this game. Some people accusing me that I didn't put Miki Berkovic, and some people, I'm waking up in the middle of the night sometimes, and I remember this game.
What about other stories? You can tell us whatever you like. Sorry.
Now, I will tell you some names.
Okay.
And you have to recall from your memory a very short, unknown story about those guys. Okay.
A lot of people accusing me why I'm not writing a book.
Yeah.
With all my history, and Pini Gershon is saying that what I remember, nobody remembers.
Okay. Γιάννης Ιωαννίδης.
Yannis Ioannidis is a great coach. I'm very, very sad and sorry about what his situation now with the sick that he have. When I was in Salonika 3 weeks ago in the ceremony, his daughter came on his name to take the trophy. And she said, and I agree with her 100%, that she was more happy if he was coming to get the trophy than her. Now, we was in good relationship and we was fighting against each other. Now, he was a legend in the Greek basketball, and he was strong. He was controlling a lot of things in the court and off the court. But we was in very good relations, but he didn't speak English and I didn't speak Greek. So our relationship was only when somebody was translating. I couldn't speak with him in the phone like I can speak with Nikos Karameas or with Yannis Feropoulos or with Kostas Flavarakis or with any other coaches that are my friends in Greece. Now, I'm a man that learning the coaches that I'm going to play against. So I'm sitting with my assistants, especially those who was working with him or when we played against Ipkovic. I was learning and saying what he will do under this situation, what he will do to be ready, what Ioannidis will. On the other side, it was known that Ioannidis is tough and shouting on players. And sometimes I was having, I will not say the name of a player that played for him, and then he played for me. And he said, okay, we came to a timeout. It's a problem. And Ioannidis, for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, shouting about, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, why you lose the ball? And somebody is telling him, coach, what we are doing now, the timeout is going to be finished.
Mm-hmm.
Or all the stories. I was assistant coach in the national team of Israel in the championship that was in Prague. I don't remember what year was it. I was going to watch every game. In this championship, the game for the 11th, 12th place was Turkey against Greece in Prague. It was impossible for fans to. There was maybe on the court, Ioannidis was the coach of the national team, and maybe it was 20 people on the stands. I was there, and because it was so quiet, I saw the energy and the shouting that he's fighting with the players and he's fighting with his assistant coaches. One of the assistant coaches of Yanis was also Yanis Ioannidis, that they called him the Dutch.
Yes,
The
Dutch.
Dutch.
Yes.
He was under attack all the day, but he was very. I was having a lot of conversation with him and meeting because I can speak with him English. Now, once in championship, European championship, I was going to every European championship as a coach, as a visitor, and we came to in Ljubljana, I think it was, and I came to watch, and Ioannidis came, and I saw him after I didn't see him a lot of time, and he lost a lot of weight. I asked him, he told me, I made a diet, I'm working, he was looking excellent, but half a year after he got his belly back like me.
Like all of us. Like
all of us, yes. You can't stop it. So then I came to coach Pauk, and Ioannidis coaching Ike. And in one of the games, we beat Stojakovic and McRae, and we beat yes, and we beat Panathinaikos in Panathinaikos, and Ioannidis Ike was also playing in Oaxaca.
Yes,
was out, and he was understanding that he cannot. This win bring Pauk to a better situation. Then we beat Olympiacos in Olympiacos with the big basket of Stojakovic, and we play on the final against Panathinaikos. We lost after 3-2. And he was understanding, but he told me, nice win, nice job, you made a good job. As far as I know, from friends of us, that he was respecting me very much. Okay. Then when I came to Aris, and Aris was his home club, he was protecting Aris, he was controlling Aris, and he never was happy about coaches that Coach Harris and not him, but he was saying to them, to the management, you make a very good choice by having Zvika, but Harris after Torino, you know what happened.
Yes, of course. Μιχάλη, να πούμε κανένα άλλο. Θέλω να το ρωτήσω για την οδοντολιπίδα.
I'm gonna say one of my favorite players of all time, Charles Shackelford.
Charles Shackelford was a great player, but he finished, or when he came to the end of his career, and we signed him. After that, I signed him in PAOK, but it was after 2 operations on his knees, and was very, very difficult to him to move with his legs and to practice. Without this, maybe he was staying in the NBA, but he was a great, you can't find today a low post players like the players that having the nose what to do under the baskets. He didn't like to practice, and I hate players that didn't like to practice, because I believe that every practice is giving you the chance, first of all, to be in a good shape, and secondly, together to build a team that we will know where to give you the ball. We will know if to give you the ball when you are in motion or when you are in stable on your position. You like the ball more to right side. You like the ball more to left side. This is things. Today, it's crazy. You're changing foreigner players like crazy. He's landing from Alabama. He still didn't stay on his legs. And we want that he will make 25 points, 15 rebounds, 10 blocks. It's impossible. Once, you remember, we didn't been allowed to change a foreigner. You signed to 1 or 2 foreigners before the season. Till the end of the season, you can change. And then they bring in January, 10 days, like in football, that you can change. Today, you can change every day. And maybe you're cutting players that you didn't give them the chance to fit with the team.
Ωραία.
Να ρωτήσω, θέλω να του πω για τον οδοντογλυφίδα, να ξέρεις. Να του πω.
Θα το πούμε. One more name, the last one. Oded Katas. I know that he's a favorite guy of you.
Oded Katas was a great player. Great player. That was unlucky on his career, because he finished his career at 26.
Yes.
Oded Katas was supposed to go to the NBA. He was landing in New York. He was having like an agreement with the Knicks, but there was the big strike of the players, and the league didn't start it. Then he was without a contract, and he stayed in New York, and after 2 months he came back and played. Oded Katas went to Panathinaikos, and when Obradović was with the national team of Serbia, and Itudis was with the team in the camp on the mountains in Serbia.
Zlatibor, maybe. In Zlatibor, maybe.
Yes, maybe. I don't remember the name. Maybe another place. I was there, but I don't remember the name.
Okay.
He asked that he have pain on his knee, and he asked to go for 1 day to Israel to see his doctor. And he didn't find his doctor. The doctor didn't, and they released him only for 24 hours. And he went to another doctor, and he made him an operation on the knee, and the operation didn't succeed. 3 times after and that's finished his career. That was in Panathinaikos. Oded Katash, I saw him when I was coach in the second team of Maccabi, and I was the strongest man on the club. I saw a young kid coming, and I find out that he's a great talent. He was in the age of cadets national team, and I was in the same time coach of Maccabi and coach of the junior national team. Mm-hmm. I came to the cadets coach. I told him, look, this is a player that you must take in your team. If you are not taking him on the cadets that are under 16, I'm taking him to my under 18 team. But he's too skinny and not strong enough yet. Take him to the cadets. And they took him to the cadets. After that, I was his coach in national team and in Maccabi. Unfortunately, when he was the coach of Maccabi, I was the general manager. And in the middle of the season, I changed him. I substitute him. And you see what happened. You know what he done in Panathinaikos. He said that he doesn't know till today why he didn't continue to coach. And now he's the coach of Maccabi.
Yes, yes. Okay, one last question.
He lost more 6 to more years to play. Till today, he want to take the coach and the ball and to play.
Yes, of course. One last question, coach. Maybe a funny one. I was a kid, I was a child, 10, 11, 12 years old, and I was watching you with a toothpick in your mouth. And I thought that maybe you were smoking or something like that, but you didn't, you were not allowed to smoke in the basketball arena, so you had a toothpick as a substitute or something like that. Talk to us about that. Is this a habit or something?
I'm not smoking. I never smoke. Maybe when we was young and we was stealing some cigarettes from our parents, I smoked a little, but I didn't smoke ever in my life. When we was in the army and we was far away and all the people want to smoke and I was not smoking. Now when they opened the shop to let everybody buy 1 box of cigarettes, everybody want from me that I will buy one box of cigarettes for them because I was not smoking. And there was not enough of cigarettes, so everybody didn't want to give to his friend, and they were smoking, hiding that they are smoking. So I didn't smoke ever. In my house, nobody is smoking. In my car, not me and not my wife, nobody is smoking, so I didn't smoke ever in my life. Maybe it's give me some health today. That was for me instead of cigarettes.
Anti-stress.
I have, not in this room. In the other room, if you want, I will go to bring it.
The golden one.
The golden one that Mitulis bought for me. It's in the other room. And it will be here till the end of my life. And my sons and my grandsons knows what to take and what to make with this, the story. You want me to go to bring it?
Okay, of course. If you would like, why not?
I will say
Του είχαν κάνει δώρο, ναι, μια χρυσή οδοντοφίδα, ναι, βεβαίως.
Τι ωραίος είναι, ρε φίλε.
Ωραίος, πολύ καλός. Πολύ καλός. Θα τον κάνουμε και part 2, οπωσδήποτε. Οι φωτογραφίες με τον Άρη συνειδητοποιείς ότι είναι 30 χρόνια πριν. Ναι, 30 χρόνια.
Στρόγγυλα 30. Σε κανένα 2 μήνες είναι στρόγγυλα 30.
30, ναι.
Πόσο μεγάλη σημασία έχει μέχρι να έρθει ο άνθρωπος. Είναι δυνατόν να ζούμε μια ζωούλα εμείς και να λέμε έκανος.
I didn't find it. It's there is a lot of things, there are a lot of couples.
Okay,
my wife
no
is
worries.
not here. I'm sorry.
No worries, coach. I feel that you have, sorry, I feel that we have to do with you a part two. A part two because you have lots of stories as Pini Gerson knows better.
Hey, we would like to have you and Pinchas together. This would be the best.
We grow up, me and Pini, from the age of 12. On those days, we met in the basketball gym of Maccabi. We became the very, very, very good friends. Together, we make all our learning coaches together, Class C, Class B. We was in the school of coaches together in Maccabi. Then we went to every European championship together. And few years ago was a big fight between us. We didn't speak for a few years. And now we are okay again.
We would like you to be with us and with him in the same environment.
Okay, so arrange it.
Okay.
You know, you have his phone?
No,
I will send you after that I will send him his phone.
Okay,
and make it.
Thank you very much. So, Coach, we are very happy to have spoken with you. It was an honor. It was a very
I want to be back in Greece and to coach in Greece.
But maybe they will not pay you. They don't pay anyone. Thank you very much, Coach. Thank you very much.
Okay. You have my phone. You have the contact with me. No problem.
Okay, thank you. Μιχάλη, σε ευχαριστώ, αγορίνα. Τα λέμε. Να είστε καλά όλοι που μας παρακολουθήσετε. Γεια σας.